Hello, Dylan. I'm not sure this is going to be uh, smooth and easy for you to follow, but and also excuse the background. I'm just doing it from a corner of my apartment where I thought it would be light enough to for you to be able to see well. Anyway, my coronavirus story is relatively simple. The biggest impact for me has been, and me and my colleagues, has been how we work. But because of the nature of our work, we have been as busy as ever. Because I work for a financially sound news organization, the New York Times, there has been no talk of laying off any or furloughing any personnel, not in the newsroom at least. I imagine that with advertising and subscriptions falling off slightly because of the overall global situation, there may be some tightening of the business side operation of the New York Times Company. But right now, everybody is working hard and working well. The newsroom is committed to delivering important information in a timely way to help people cope with the coronavirus situation and to make informed decisions in their lives. But most of us have to work from home quite a bit, have had to work quite a bit. And our offices in New York and London, the other two big operations, we have three main hubs for the New York Times. New York, of course, is what we call the mothership. London and here in Hong Kong, where we edit all of the copy for the international print edition, and it's one of the three main hubs along with London and New York for the digital New York Times. And by company policy, New York and London have been mandated to work completely from home for a couple of months now. And here in Hong Kong, for the past few weeks, we've had a setup where half of the office now is allowed to go into the office to work, and at least half of the staff is expected to continue working from home. Today was my first day back in the office in quite a while. It was interesting, and I was glad to finally see some of my other colleagues. I've seen a few socially. I play tennis and bowl with one of my colleagues and our partners, but basically we haven't seen much of our colleagues, and we have a nice staff here. And it's good to see them. It's part of what we do. It's a good team, and teamwork is a little different when you're working individually from home. Only in the first couple of weeks of the pandemic situation did it seem a bit risky to use crowded public transportation and the like. In general, I felt pretty safe here in Hong Kong. The city has managed to do a pretty good job of keeping down the number of coronavirus cases, and generally people have caught on quite quickly to the social distancing ideas. Working from home has been pretty easy as long as I have a good broadband internet connection. It's almost the same as working in the office. Got a couple of notes here. I'll make sure I don't forget anything. As I said, it has been a little odd not seeing colleagues. We have had a few video hangouts, and that has helped keep us in touch with one another. But mainly, we've been by ourselves. There's an upside to working at home. You don't have to commute. I see my partner Elle. We have more home cooked meals. I don't have to go out for lunch quite as often. So that has been actually, on the personal side, slight upside compared to commuting and going into the office. I have missed not being able to go to live music performances at my favorite Hong Kong jazz clubs, and the month-long shutdown of my health club here, and also closures of restaurants and and pubs that I frequent, that has also been a big disappointment. What about the future? The future is another question. We love to travel, but the various restrictions and quarantine requirements here and in other countries has forced us to, we had to put off one trip to Thailand and put off and postpone, cancel other travel plans. And as long as, probably until there's been a widespread availability of a useful vaccine against the coronavirus, I imagine that global travel will stay difficult for quite some time. There will be some, business travel is picking up a little bit, but there's still a lot of restrictions worldwide, and for people who like myself, do like to get around the world, that has been a big disappointment. Maybe early next year, experts think there might be a vaccine developed. I know some folks are rushing and pushing to try to get something done sooner than that, but realistically it might not be possible, and so we may be looking at various stages of lockdown for quite a while, maybe through at least the end of the year. And who knows when the next pandemic will pop up. This should at least have taught many countries how to be better prepared. I'm hoping that my native country, the U.S., does a better job in the future. They can look to success in places like New Zealand and South Korea, to a lesser degree Germany and in Europe has done a pretty good job of flattening the curve. But some of the major countries of the world have really suffered. Anyway, that's about all I have. I hope I've at least answered some of your questions, and good luck with your project.